The question, what are the best jazz guitar scales to lay on top of blues or rock progressions? Playing over standard rock progressions might get boring after a while if your vocabulary is a bit limited. That's why borrowing from jazz can sometimes be a cool way to add an interesting twist. Beware, however, many guys in rock bands don't like to hear too much outside playing from their lead guitarist. It's important to keep context in mind as well as the harmony over which you are playing. In a rock and blues setting, these opportunities mostly come in the form of dominant chords. Since these are tense chords, you have a nice opportunity to use some more outside vocabulary, whereas it does not really sound as good over basic triadic progressions. Since a standard blues progression makes a heavy use of dominant chords, you can do a lot more with this there. Check out Scott Henderson for a great example of this. Let's go over a few scales that you might try using. Lydian dominant, or Lydian B7, this is also known as the fourth mode of melodic minor. It's basically a Lydian scale with a flatted 7th, and it gives you a nice number 11 over a dominant 7th chord. For example, G Lydian dominant would be G A B C sharp D E F. Altered dominant, this is the 7th mode of melodic minor, and it gives you every alteration in a chord, so it has a super tense sound. A quick way to access this is to think of the melodic minor scale a half step up from the root of the chord. So, over F number 7 alt, you can play G melodic minor, which would be G A B B C D E F hash. Half whole diminished, this scale is a slightly less tense alternative to the altered dominant scale. It's a nice way to access some alterations and still keep a natural 13th. It's also really neat because it's a symmetrical 8-note scale, so you can get some cool symmetrical patterns going. With this stuff, it's very important to use discretion in rock and blues contexts because things can get really hairy very quickly if you are just playing over triads.